Hi, Debra Lynn here. And recently, one of my certification trainees asked if I could do a video on my recent understanding about how our abdominal core can assist us to stay in bel canto mechanics without thinking about it. This is a big deal, right? Because sometimes when we're trying to make the shift to these principles, we can find ourselves in a little bit of a battle, especially if we have kind of come through our understanding from this perspective that our objective is to open up, take as much air in as we can, and then push it like a toothpaste tube through the body. So, as I say, become a cello, not a bellow. But that's a big shift for many of us that are used to pushing air. So, how can our core help us? So today I'm just going to share some insights to this, and then you can play with it. And please feel free to leave your comments below as you're trying this. What do you notice? Because it's pretty profound. Um, so before you start to breathe for singing, right? Remember that I work now with a piece of the puzzle called the alignment. So we find that by exhaling gently and breathing in through our nose. And you notice the body pulling you backwards. Now release that air and do it again, and notice what the core does as soon as you're in alignment. Breathing in through the nose. And notice that the core is stabilized. So by core, what I mean is that the frontal abdominals sort of from the just above the waistline down are suddenly stabilized and still and pulled in a bit. All right, now when you're getting ready to do some practicing and you want to play with this idea, and you've been doing the bel canto mechanics for a bit and maybe having some challenges with consistency, let's say, okay, I can do it for 2 or 3 or 4 breath processes, 3 or 4 phrases, but once I get there, my mind gets distracted, and now I'm not able to do this. So this is a piece of the puzzle that can help you bypass when you do get distracted, if you sustain this one technical piece while you're singing. So exhale gently. Go ahead and pull backwards into alignment or stabilize your core. Now go ahead and breathe in again. Notice that the air mechanics automatically open up the back lower ribs, something we're working with in this work. It's sort of like suddenly you had an expansion of the rib cage in the back, and then the focus of attention became towards the back as opposed to stomach moving, because you've stabilized the stomach. All right, it's like this little weird thing. So now if you haven't done this work and you want to notice this a bit more, like let's say you didn't notice that expansion right there. Sorry, I'll stand up for a second. If you take your fingers like this, like little L's, and you put them thumb to the back, forefinger to the front, and you put it on the rib cage itself. Let me just walk you through this for a second, and then we'll go back to the core. So exhale, breathe in through the nose. Feel how the side ribs expand and the thumbs move in the back. All right, now release the air. Keep the hands there. Now breathe in through the mouth. You notice the abdominals want to pull outward, and you don't get the expansion on the ribs, on the sides. It doesn't happen as naturally, all right, as it does with a nasal breath. Now, of course, we can't breathe with a nasal breath when we sing. So that's why we're only utilizing that nasal breath to just help us find the place, find the space inside the body where this air is going, all right? So again, let's go back to the core. So go ahead and exhale. Go ahead and pull the tummy in now. Now go ahead and breathe in through the mouth. And you feel the expansion of the ribs, and you feel the activity in the back. Now, release. Now, what I'm going to suggest you try is that you don't have air in the mechanism when you pull in the core, because if you do, watch what happens. You breathe in and now pull in the core, and you'll feel something right here. So if you take a breath and then engage the core, now you're activating upward thrust of pressure on that diaphragm, and now the pressure is changing at the level of the folds. Now do it the opposite way. Exhale first, pull the core in. Now breathe in. No pressure. You don't feel anything in the throat. And that's because we've stabilized subglottal pressure below the folds, all right, which is the magic for bel canto. We are stabilizing the vocal folds on top of gentle subglottal air pressure. And then we're going to ride that ride above the folds. We're going to activate sound as if it's activating here as we articulate, but the air pressure is staying more stable. If you keep the core still, if you keep the core still throughout, meaning you exhale, you bring in the core, you activate those back and side ribs. Now you maintain core while you're singing so that when you breathe, the breath automatically reinforces this rib engagement. It pulls the ribs back open again, but it does not get destabilized by the belly muscles starting to do a wave-like action. So you're basically reinforcing the stability and consistency of bel canto mechanics through the entire song by not letting go of your abdominal stability throughout the whole song. Now, this is revolutionary. Okay, this is a whole new piece of my work, right? For those of you that have been doing it a while, woohoo! Watch what happens. Now, you may get distracted at some point and lose the tummy. All you have to do is start again. Empty the air from the body, pull the tummy in. Breathe in, expand the ribs. All right, now hold the core still for as long as you can. You just keep it there and let the breathing mechanics on the breaths be more natural to how we normally breathe as a human being. And watch how long you can maintain your more consistent, accurate tone, your accurate sound, your freedom and ease without the belly mechanics sort of interfering with the consistency factor. All right, so comment below. Please, if you like this video, share it with your friends that are struggling with their singing. This is huge, okay? The way I discovered this, just as a side note for you, is I was in Sweden a year ago, and I started to play with the fact that the Swedish bodies tend to be more stable anyways. And we did this thing where we just had an entire chorus stabilize their core for the whole song. And lo and behold, they stayed in the game and they maintained their consistent accuracy without trying. I'm looking for ways to give you the magic, all right? And here's another piece. Have a wonderful day wherever you are, and feel free to comment below. And if you have requests for certain questions or things, I am going to be back at it to try to give you more consistent quality videos. Ciao bella. Bye-bye.